Hey everybody, welcome to Vision One Media Artist Shoutout. My name is Ella Beth. I'm your host for today. And today's guests, plural, first time that we're having two people on the show, which is very exciting, are two awesome people that I met quite recently when I was actually a guest on their show. And so I thought I'd pay back the favor and bring them along here. Two people who are involved both in the entertainment industry and with artists from around Atlanta, in both like artist development, recording, all sorts of things. So I'm really excited to get into this interview and have a chat. I'm sure it's going to be a good time. Y'all are probably going to laugh a bit. We're definitely going to laugh. So without further ado, welcome to the show.
Hey, for sure. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us. For sure.
Okay, so I'll introduce you. I should introduce you by your show names, right? Okay, so we've got Stein
Yes.
from The Skinny.
Yes.
The Skinny Show, ATL.
That's right.
And his co-host, Dick Paradise.
Hey there. How are you?
Okay, so first of all, I want to start off, say welcome. Thank you so much for coming along and being on my show this time.
Thank you for having us.
Super
Thank you for
cool.
having us.
We're excited.
So we talked about it a little bit before we started rolling, but just give me an update about, or not an update, but give me a little bit of a story about how the Skinny Show came to be and how you came to be involved.
Okay, how it came to be, and then I'll let him speak to how he became involved.
Okay.
It was really, it was birthed out of, seeing a lot of artists and them needing content, right? Like, what is a way that we can, create a brand for ourselves, but also create an additional platform for content for artists? That was the biggest piece of it, right? But put here, conceptually, shit easy.
Right.
But it really wasn't, right? So
I'm going to do a show.
Good. So that's kind of how DP came into play, where he would be the eyes, like he would be the person, he would be in the room. When that doesn't work there, let's try this, right? And it was him and a few other people. And as it grew, we built the team. But he was largely instrumental, initially, just helping me curate the vision.
Cool.
And he can speak to how he got on the show. So
Yeah.
Oh, I bribed him, to be honest.
That was exactly what we talked about earlier. Yeah, I remember that.
I wrote a really big check, and now I'm a member of the show.
And now you get to be on the show. That's so amazing.
Short answer.
Yeah, short answer. I mean, he's downplaying it, but really, he became the person that, he was the Skinny, right? It doesn't matter whose brainstorm it was or whose idea it was. He came up with the concept of us doing skinny outings, right? He would sometimes just pay for a boat. We'd all go out and eat, where everybody wore their skinny gear and we go out. So we did the Dave and Buster's.
I come to a skinny outing, please? I also want
to have to be a part of the Skinny. Right?
Yeah, well, you're by extension, sure. When we ever have the next one,
we have the next one, you definitely
please.
But just things like that. Like he was able to help me think outside the box. Like how do we make this better?
Right. Right.
And that's a lot of what it was.
Okay. So you wanted to start the show because you wanted to help artists create content, which is great. That's part of artist development. Why is that important for you? Tell me about like your background in music and stuff.
I used to be a rapper, right? I used to rap. Yeah.
West Coast, right?
Yeah, goddamn right. I ain't about to spit no bars on this motherfucker though, because I ain't got 16. But I used to rap, and I started rapping and producing, for me and my cousin in L.A., and it just became who I was. Like, I didn't want to do shit. I would go to work, get off, go home, a makeshift studio that I built, back in the day. And I got burned a lot, with dream merchants and people saying, I can do this, I'm working with such and such, and send me this music, and yada, yada, yada. So when I moved to Atlanta, I moved out here and I became a ghetto celebrity because I had like a fucking little small mixer. And at the time, everything wasn't on a laptop, right?
Okay.
You had to actually physically have gear.
Yeah,
so everything you showed me in there, like I had all that shit.
Yeah.
And I had like tons of it. Like when I don't know if you guys remember ADATs. ADATs were $3,800 each.
What is
I had 5 of them. So you don't even know what it is.
I don't know what an ADAT is.
It's an
She's not that old.
It's an Alesis digital audio tape, and everything was recorded on a big ass VHS. You slide it in there, but if you had 5 of them, you had 40 tracks because they were all 8 tracks each. So I had big boy shit in my studio, and I ended up having a whole bunch of big names: Ludacris, Outkast, Houdini, fucking Cool Ace. Pink when she was in a group called CL something, whatever it was.
You've worked with
Missed
Pink.
it. I work with all these motherfuckers. But that doesn't necessarily mean they know me. I work with Titty Boy, who's 2 Chainz. He was Titty Boy then. But keep in mind, I was just an engineer.
Right.
Like there was no relationship.
Yeah.
They come in, they record the music, I mix it, and they're gone.
Yeah.
So I found myself liking that piece of it. Where I'm just like, but I'm dealing with a lot of artists. But then we all go through this, and I'm sure my man recording it can probably attest. And you want to quit sometimes.
Right.
I was like, fuck this music shit. Ain't getting nowhere with it. This shit trash.
I'm not where I wanted to be. I'm not where I think I should be.
Yeah, so
Imposter syndrome.
I moved into his neighborhood, right?
Yes.
And we had
The mayor,
the mayor.
as it was.
This big ass house, and it's just me and my wife. And I'm like, yo, and I said, can I just have the garage? And she knew my passion. She was like, yeah. So when I built it, I was like, it's got to be, because it's too modular. It's got to be more than just for music.
Yes.
And then, when me and him started linking up and kind of putting the idea together, that shit just blew up. Like, the Skinny is the reason why people are there, more so than music.
Right. Yeah. So you're finding that more artists are coming through for the show than to be in there, like, recording their stuff at the moment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Which sucks, too, because, you guys got 3 fucking rooms here, right? You got 3 studios here, right? So, it's so competitive to do it. Like, I don't know what y'all charge here, but I charge what I charge. And, then you have the whole thing of where the studio is located. So I do get business in the studio, but I get more business people coming to the Skinny, which is why I want to allude to this. As hard as he and I work to make that shit look like that every week, we should assign a value to it. Even what you guys are doing in here with the 3-camera setup, you guys have to start. I mean, you guys artists, you guys got to start investing in yourself. You spend all this money on weed and $200 on Jordans and shit, but you complain about a little $125, video fee that you would pay to get quality like this. Right. You got a person over there that's physically recording it. You got a co-host. She's worth money. There's value. You know what I mean? So that pains me when people complain. So my challenge to you is, add value to this by stop doing the shit for free.
Okay.
If you would have charged us, we wouldn't have no problem with it. We get it. We understand.
Stein is rich, so he would have paid it.
What?
No shit.
But you're the mayor, so.
He the mayor. He does the Skinny outings. This dude, I'm gonna let him speak to it, but this dude, the Skinny had grown so much in the year. I don't mean on YouTube. It's hard to grow on YouTube.
Right.
Just in people knew what the Skinny was. He would rent this big ass grill, huge, and just cook for the whole neighborhood. And he himself has hosted an event called Sink or Swim, where he cooked all the food, paid for all the food, and everybody from the Skinny came, and we had music all out by the pool. So he gonna downplay the shit, but he is the true backbone of the Skinny.
Oh, I love that. Wow. So tell me about do you have musical?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
No, not. It's not bad or good. There's no wrong answer. But did you do musical stuff? Are you musical?
No, I am not musical. I'm probably the only person associated with the show, either on it or behind the scenes or whatever, that is not musical.
That isn't musical.
Right. So I'm in awe with the folks with that particular talent. I wasn't blessed with that. So no music for me.
I like that though, because it gives you a different perspective. Musicians, we're amazing and we're creative and stuff, but sometimes the creativity can get a little bit like Space Cadet, So if you have someone who's on the ground per se, with just a different view of things, that's invaluable to what you guys are doing. So what has the Skinny brought to your life? Like, what have you learned from doing it, and what has it brought in good things?
A lot of hoes. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Don't cut the shit out though.
Different area codes.
Slow down a little bit. Slow down. It's been amazing to me because doing other things in life, I'm like a retired military guy and all that stuff, so I know nothing about the music industry. So hanging out with these folks and listening to their pain points and dreams and stuff, it's really cool. So the people you idolize in these various music things, you're like, this guy's so cool, and then you meet some of these people or you hear their real stories, and it sort of opens your eyes to things.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a constant party every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. It's new people, lots of energy. I've met some amazing, talented artists that can sing and rap and dance and do all the things they do. It's just an outlet. You know, everyone has to have like a hobby or a thing. And this is sort of my thing.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them.
That's so cool. And you get to do it with, like, I assume you guys consider yourselves besties. Are you besties?
Easily.
Yeah, besties. Okay, you get to do it with your bestie. Like, that's so
hey,
cool.
this dude is a part of our family.
He has a key to my
Yeah.
house. Like, what do you mean? Like, yeah.
I love that. I love that.
He's pretty awesome. So, but yeah.
That's so badass. So, being involved, doing the Skinny and being involved, you meet a lot of artists. Tell me what you think. This is kind of a broad question, but what are your thoughts of the Atlanta music scene? Because you came from the West Coast, it's different over there. I mean, there's a lot of hip hop there and rap.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of hip hop and rap R&B here in Atlanta. How do you feel about the music scene here? Because I can speak to how I feel about it. Being,
Atlanta. Look, and now we're talking of timetable. If you look at '94 on up. To me, I loved Atlanta music, right? You do TLC, Outkast, Babyface, all of the Jermaine
Wait,
Dupri
TLC
shit.
is from Atlanta? What?
Yeah, for sure.
What?
Yeah, so, but and that's just, I might have left some people out, like Outkast and all these other people. I loved it. But for me now, and I'm going to say it, it's almost like the sea of sameness. Like everybody has the same fucking trap beat. Everybody has the same kind of flow. There's no originality for me. I'm a consumer first before I am a talk show host or a podcast host.
Right.
I still have money to buy records or not buy them. Right?
Download or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's the sea of sameness. It's like the same beat, the same trap beat, the same artist with 1,000... with the resolution on auto-tune all the way to 5 or 0, like I don't listen to it. Like I don't. So even when people come to my studio to do music, it's difficult for me to appreciate it because you just sound like the last motherfucker that just left.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's what it is for me.
Okay. How about you?
I think it's the same. Though I still listen to it, guilty pleasure or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll listen to some of that stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so you've heard me, you guys know my kind of style is sort of that, what I like to call eclectic soul. I also kind of feel like a lot of, not the people so much that I interview, but because I try to be a little bit more diverse, but this city is very much, it's rap and trap, and that's cool. There's value in that, and people like that.
course.
But I've kind of had a little bit of a hard time sort of finding the pockets of artists who are a little like me and kind of make music like me. So it's an interesting place. But I like that too about Atlanta, that there are little pockets. They're hidden and they're quite sporadic, but it's cool. It's cool to find people like. I use the Velvet Note as a really great example. Great little jazz club over in Alpharetta. Super cool. Had some incredible names on it. Not a big place, but very, very, again, eclectic. You'll have jazz artists there, rock artists, bluegrass artists, like really interesting. So I like that there are the little pockets of that.
The Velvet Note?
The Velvet Note,
Never heard of
Definitely check it out.
Yeah,
Now Alpharetta, that's cool. Is it up there on at the Avalon?
Not quite as far as the Avalon. Okay. I don't know the road that it's on. It's
That's cool. We can Google the shit.
It's cool little spot. Yeah, all for you people listening as well. The Velvet Note in Alpharetta. Very cool little jazz spot.
Good spot.
Yeah.
Meet me there. I'm buying the first round of drinks.
Thursday nights are open mic night.
You got to be a woman though. See, you got to say that shit. He ain't buying no hard legs, no shit to drink.
Thought that was understood and or implied.
No,
but
it wasn't understood.
My bad.
But yeah.
Amazing. So I had a question that this is really random, but I have to ask you. You said that you played drums on a Phil Collins track. Is that true? I mean, honestly.
Really? Hold on.
You've been telling folks this?
But I've been thinking it has not stopped going around my head.
Yeah, hold on. Look. Okay. So let me say this.
Yeah. Say it right.
He gonna hate regardless.
Say it right.
What was the question?
Right.
You played drums you played da-da, da-da, da-da,
In the air tonight. I know the
can feel
record. In the air tonight. Right. So let me say this. There are clauses in the contract and the agreement that stipulate that I can't speak to certain things, right?
Okay.
So I can't speak to that.
Wow.
What? That is wow.
Wow.
Okay, but all right. So you can't speak to that then. Did you like work? Not work with in the same place, but did you work on a Phil Collins thing? Like, have you collaborated?
Okay. So I know what you're doing.
Here we go.
I know what you're doing.
You don't have to. I don't know if you played the but I'm just because I'm such a big fan. So I'm like,
okay. I get it, but okay. Let me just say this. Well, the best way to say it is I've had a lot of interaction with Phil Collins.
Okay, cool.
Music.
That's cool.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll leave it at that then.
Can I just jump in here
Absolutely.
real quick? I also had a lot of interactions with Phil Collins music. I worked at a record store, and I moved some records around, and thus, well, you get it.
So I guess we'll never know that one. Phil, if you're listening, did you work with this guy? I want to know.
What's up, man?
Call me back, Phil. What are we doing here?
I genuinely think he's one of the greatest.
He's amazing.
Artists. He really,
Absolutely.
truly genius, musical genius. So that was a little bit of a digression. So tell me, what is it like meeting so many young people from Atlanta? Like, what is it like getting to interact with the up and comers of the music scene?
Oh, I think it's super cool. Whether these people become the next whatevers or if they go on to work at Waffle House or stop doing music or whatever, they have this, all of them have this drive and this energy, and it's kind of wide-eyedness, and they're excited. So it's cool to be a part of that and see their energy and the optimism, and then if one of them or all of them become the next thing, it's cool to say, oh my gosh, I knew this lady when, she came to our show, and she was super cool, and she used to answer my phone calls, and look, I still have the text messages, or, so who doesn't want to be part of that journey?
Yeah.
The shit is exhausting to me. I mean,
the truth.
It's exhausting. It's, but it's what he said, like everybody has their own, that's not true. Everybody doesn't, because again, I run into a lot of this sea of sameness, right? So it's exhausting in that the fight that he was talking about in terms of just it's a grind. Like what's exhausting to me is not the artist. I really appreciate the artists to do the show. It's their grind that's exhausting. Like he said, when you hear them tell their story, it's like shit. Like we had somebody on the show last week, and she was like, "Yo, I'm signed to Sony, but I'm doing Instacart." Like, you know what I mean? Real shit. Like I'm doing Instacart, I'm doing Uber, and she's dope.
Yeah.
Right? But that's the real struggle. And I had encouraged her to speak to that because people out there need to know it's real.
It is really real. Yeah.
It's exhausting for me because I feel that because I used to be an artist.
Right. You've done that.
It's exhausting.
So what, can I ask them, what was the straw that broke the camel's back for you from... You're still involved in music, but you used to be an artist. So what was it like? Did something happen that brought you away from the artistry, or was it just like a natural progression? Maybe it wasn't a straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, shit. It was being an artist is hard. Like we give them props every week when they come to the Skinny. It's hard to be an artist, but for me, it was. And now this I definitely can't speak to because there was some paperwork, but I did a record years ago when I was in LA, and it was a drum loop. It was just an actual drum loop and a jazz bass loop.
Okay.
So I met with a producer at the time who was huge, right? And we had everything on a four-track cassette, and I got a meeting with this guy, and this guy's the biggest dude in LA. And I go in this meeting, I play a bunch of beats. He never even made a move. He didn't act like he didn't even like him. So a friend of mine, and I can't say his name either, but he was like, yo, leave the tape. So I left the tape. Now, this guy, maybe 3 or 4 months later, the fucking song was on a movie soundtrack. Keep in mind, I didn't know anything about split sheets. Do your homework. I didn't know anything about copyrights. I didn't know any of that shit. I was just a young kid making beats. The guy takes the beat. He actually had the records that I used because they were just drum loops. It was a drum loop and a jazz loop. And that hurt.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, yo, I got to figure out a way to not do that shit again. So that kind of started it. And then when I decided, hey, me and my cousin wanted to rap, we went, this true story, man, we at this guy's house. He charged us $250 for a 4-track cassette recording. It was 1 track for me, 1 track for my cousin, 1 track for the music, 1 track for the hook. No bullshit. It was absolute trash. I get there, this nigga sleep. So we bamming on the door, you know what I'm saying? In LA, these are, doors have these big ass cages on them. So we bamming on the door. He finally comes to the door, lets us in. We done drove all the way from Long Beach to West Hollywood. We get in there. This nigga got roaches in the windowsill and shit. We sitting on the couch. And I'm like, yo, this nigga got dead roaches in the windowsill and shit. And we had like a mic the mic was trash. He had like which is common, a pantyhose over it. That was the popper stopper. and the beat was kind of garbage, and it was just like, I was like, I'm not gonna pay, continue to pay this kind of money. Back then, you talking about in 80, 89, 90, this shit was like $220. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So then I just said, fuck this shit. And I decided that my place was to be on the other side of the microphone.
Okay.
So, that coupled with the fact that we got booed off stage a couple of times at a place called Carlos and Charlie's in L.A.
Oh, no.
Is there footage of that?
A couple of times. No.
Twice.
Is there footage of that?
Nah.
I need to see that.
Oh, no. So it was you and your cousin that got booed off stage?
Yeah, well, we were dope, though.
No,
Like, the look and everything was dope, but we were very pro-black. Keep in mind, that was when NWA and all these niggas was coming out, so nobody wanted to hear that shit.
Right.
They didn't want to hear about Dr. King and none of that. Darla Loke, motherfucker, if you still out there, Darla Loke, she beat us twice in a talent contest because she was rapping about the street. And that's what people wanted to hear. They wanted to hear that grimy, edgy shit. So
Right. That's interesting. Okay, so first of all, I'm really sorry you got booed off stage. Gonna go twice. Gonna go and check out Darla Loke. But you bring up that's really interesting. So being non-American, like I'm learning a lot as I'm here, as I go along. And this recent bill for the government that was like the bill is about not using song lyrics in cases against people who are criminals and stuff. You're talking about like rapping on the street. What do you think about that? I know we're not going to get too political. I know. I'm just interested. Like, what is, because you're saying that back in the NWA era, like the late 80s, early 90s, that's what people were singing about and they were rapping about, and that was very, very new. What do you feel about this whole like bill of not using those lyrics for people who potentially are facing incarceration?
let me go first and address this.
Oh, definitely.
Because
When
it's really
NWA
interesting to me.
When they were doing it, and if you listen lyrically to the content, they were really, most of them were doing the shit for real. Or they were cool with people who were doing it. So they were just communicating things that they saw every day and they lived it.
Yeah.
These young guys now, they don't do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all...
They're in their mom's basement.
Yeah, you in the fucking suburbs or you somewhere, and every one of these little young guys got a Uzi in the video, a gun. So, they're living through social media, right? But they don't realize that there's consequences to that. So when you saying, I'm going to go to this nigga house and smoke him and whatever they be saying, I don't know.
Right.
I feel like, to be honest, if I'm being completely candid, yeah, use that shit against them because that's the life they want to portray. They really ain't that person, but they act like that shit. Use it against them because that's what they. Because a lot of these young guys that rap, they punks, man. They're not really the people they depict themselves to be.
Right.
And you know that because they don't want to fight. They just want to shoot you. So I'm on board with anything that's gonna curtail that behavior or curtail that type of verbiage on a record.
Okay. That's really
y'all
interesting.
come see me if you got a problem with it.
Yeah, no, that's really
how
interesting. That was not the response I thought I was going to get. That's really interesting. How about you?
Wow, I don't know how to really follow that. I think there's a fine line. There's some First Amendment stuff. You should be able to say what you want to say within reason and interpret it however you do. But I'll just say it like this. Who tells on themselves? So if you're doing whatever... It's probably not a good idea to make a hit song or a song about it and give folks details about things that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing.
That is really, okay. Yeah. That's really interesting. Cool. That's all we need to say on that. I just wanted to really, I'm really interested in that because, again, being non-American, but that was the thing, like the First Amendment stuff to me, I'm like, but isn't that going against the First Amendment? But I like what you guys, who tells on themselves?
Yeah, who does this?
That's real shit though.
Oh my gosh, they used the exact thing that I said I was doing to figure out that I did the thing and now I'm guilty.
Yeah, right. That's so interesting.
These motherfuckers stupid. Right.
Stop recording crimes.
Yeah, dummy.
Posting them on social media. Or
you got your pistol sideways and two other ones on the counter, dummy. Niggas is dumb. Then you get in trouble. But here's the thing I find interesting. They be crying like little bitches when they actually get caught and go to jail. Like they oh my God, they be, oh my God.
Crying, really crying.
Yeah, they be crying.
Tears out their eyes. Sorry, sir, why are you crying? That's so interesting.
Yeah, but you was thugged out last week. You had 8 niggas with you, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was, Dracos and all that? Yeah.
Yes. Switches and all the things.
Yeah, whatever.
Right. And I think too that's also how I feel, because as a songwriter myself, like I'm not very good at writing in the metaphor or writing, other people's stories. I really only excel when I'm writing about myself, and most of the time it's like sad songs. I really excel when I'm writing sad songs or angry songs, and I can only write what's real for me. So I guess this whole situation with the bill is really fascinating, because I'm like, are these people, as a person who really values the authenticity of what I'm writing and singing about, I'm like, is that what's happening for these people? Are they valuing authenticity? So that's really interesting. So why would you tell?
He said it best. Who tells on himself?
Yeah, that's so fascinating. So you have at the end of your show a little like fast, what do you call it? Lightning round, right?
Yes.
Yeah, lightning round.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so I also started doing that recently.
Okay. Did you think about putting some AC in this motherfucker? Because it's hot in here.
It is
I don't
getting
think
hot.
that was
Is
a
it-
question.
I'm sorry. My bad.
I also was thinking that. I was like,
Yeah,
am
like,
I the only warm one in
losing
here?
weights in
What
this
is
motherfucker. Shit, my deodorant running thin. Shit.
We should work on that. If we get a fan, you guys you've got a fan in your place. We turn that on.
We
and
don't
off.
give a fuck.
Yeah, just like that.
We'd
It is
rather
hot.
be comfortable
Yeah.
than be fucking hot. But no, go ahead.
We'll work on that. Okay, so our little lightning round. They're mostly musical questions.
No, that's not fun.
But I've decided that I'm going to throw a couple of fun ones in because it's you guys.
Yes,
It's the skinny.
Let's see what
It's
you
a
got.
skinny. All right. Okay. So first of all, I've already asked you, what album would you show the aliens if the aliens came to Earth and was like, what's a really great album from your planet? You said ATLiens by
Goddamn
Outkast.
right.
Friggin', that's the greatest answer.
And it's an alien thing. So
yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So other ones that I like to ask: what is your favorite sound?
Acoustic guitar.
Okay.
When I'm tearing our ass up. Shit. That's my favorite. Hey, bro, record.
Can I say
That's
another
real
one?
shit, right?
Shit, now you done changed. I didn't know that was.
She said sound, period,
Okay.
nigga. That's my favorite sound.
All right.
Legs bent back, getting tore up.
Wow. Okay.
Fuck that.
The honesty. It's the honesty for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thought we were talking about music. I mean, this guy.
All right. So what about song? What song do you wish you wrote? Like, what song do you hear by somebody else and you just think, man, I really wish that was my song, because you just, yeah.
I used to rap and write songs, so I don't. It's a tough one for me. What about you? What song do you sing a lot that you wish you wrote?
There's two. I know you asked me for one, but this is just really a toughie.
Yeah.
Simple Man by Leonard Skinner or Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton.
Okay. Okay. You know what? If you wrote Tennessee Whiskey, you'd be both a legend and a millionaire.
And I drink the shit, so like you just
Yeah.
put them all together. Yeah.
All the favorite things.
Okay, hold on. Then I do have one.
See?
Then shit, if you're gonna do it like that,
Right.
Leon Haywood has a song called "I Want to Do Something Freaky to You."
Okay.
Jeez.
Great record.
Sense
Okay.
of
Matter of
trend.
fact, Dr. Dre used the whole fucking loop.
Okay.
For a G thing for Snoop.
Yep.
Great record. Yeah. So that would be the one for me.
Okay. Mine is I Can't Make You Love Me by Bonnie Raitt. I think that's just
Okay.
an absolute masterpiece. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So this one, I decided to get a couple of your questions from the skinny and combine them.
Holy shit.
Wow.
It's not gonna work
So
out.
what R&B artist would you want to slap the shit out of? Which R&B artist? Yeah.
It's got to be R&B?
Yeah, because
Okay.
Yes, R&B.
we're going. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Damn. There's so many of them. It's almost like which one I wouldn't slap the shit out of.
Yeah, that's kind of where I
You know
am.
what I mean? Like, you know,
Because I thought it would be Chris Brown, but I don't know. If I slapped him, he's going to slap me back. Like,
Yeah, he's gonna fight you.
yeah, nah.
too soon.
Shit.
It's probably Bobby Brown, actually. I'd slap the shit out of him.
Nah. Oh, shit. That's a good one, though. Who would I, because I don't really listen to a lot of this new R&B. I don't listen to a lot of new R&B, so I don't really know.
Could be an older R&B artist.
Damn, that's a good one. I got stuck. That's a tough one.
I guess to stay on trend.
Because we wouldn't say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, because you worded it different. Like we say, R&B singer you would smash. That's easy.
Right. And then you also say,
Janelle
who
Monáe
would you
or-
slap the shit out of?
Yeah.
So I decided to...
Go that way because you're just giving up too many fucking things. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit,
apparently way too
man. Damn, bro. What'd you say?
I said just to stay on trend, Usher. That felt right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
he's
gonna go with
got
that.
such a sweet face, though. I feel like... I don't know if I could do that, Tasha.
What can you
I'd
do?
slap the shit out of Puffy. I know he
Okay.
ain't R&B, but
All right. Okay. All right. That works. That
He
works.
said it. Remember that. I don't want no trouble.
All right. Another one from your show. I don't know if anyone ever asked you back, but would you ever date a Waffle House employee?
Yes.
Yes.
goddamn right.
Cool.
Saw one the other day, thick than a motherfucker too. Motherfucker
Yeah?
my wife saw. Yeah, she had her nails done, had her hair done and shit. Fat ass. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Tell her
okay.
ass up.
Together.
And she can bring some waffles too.
And yeah, shit, nigga.
I think that was my answer. I was
And
like,
get
do
the
I get
goddamn
free Waffle
scattered,
House out of it?
smothered and covered. Goddamn her shit. Yeah, tell
Throw that
motherfucking
little
ass
chili
up.
on it on top. Right?
But the dude in there was handsome too. My wife, she with me. We wasn't tripping, but she just looked like a fucking Instagram model.
Yeah.
Wait a
Yeah, but I'm
minute.
saying.
Like, girl, what are you doing here? Like,
Right.
Did you just throw out a whole Waffle House swing situation?
Nah, I'm
Is
just
that what
saying.
just happened?
I'm not just saying the nigga
You
was.
saw it. That's what I saw.
3 a.m. on a Saturday
Nigga was-
morning.
He was
You know.
smooth too. What I'm saying,
I
it
ain't
wasn't
never going to
just
Waffle House
the
with you
girl,
ever
it's
again.
The nigga was
Ever
smooth too.
again. No. Wow.
Amazing.
Shout out to Phoenix.
Yeah, shout out to Phoenix. Love you, girl. Thanks for doing
For sure.
all that you do. Okay, so my final question is, I'm having a mind blank. What is the other question that I usually ask? Dead or alive? Dead or alive? He says dead or alive. My final question, what is the other question that I usually ask?
Just steal some more shit from the skinny. 'cause
Okay,
clearly
sure. When was the last time you had the bubble guts?
Okay, there you go. Shit, mine was 2 days ago.
Oh, so sorry for you.
Man, fuck that. My shit was on some bullshit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't usually get bubble guts, but because I'm pretty regular. I'm a 4 to 6 time a day guy.
Wow.
But yesterday I had a little ice cream. I'm lactose intolerant. It was kind of
That'll do
Wendy's
that. That'll
frosty a
do
little
it.
bit for me.
Okay, that'll
Yeah.
do it.
It'd be that little shit like my wife made, babe, I love you. But she made beans and franks.
What is happening?
Fucked my whole stomach up, man. I was in that motherfucker watching the Celtics blowing people up in that bitch. I was woo. I mean, I was on the no bullshit. Like my wife's here, I'm on the couch and I sit up and she's like, "You okay?" I said, "My stomach's bothering me," and I almost shitted on myself. Like I wasn't sure if it was a fart or
A shot.
Yeah. So I squeezed my booty cheeks together as
Was
tight
it
as I
hot?
could.
Was it real
It was
hot?
warm.
Yeah, that.
And then I ran upstairs and sat down, and the shit was just a fart. So it was a close call, but man, yeah, my shit was woo.
So I that just takes me through. I don't know why we're going down this track, but like while
nasty.
we're here, let's just go. So that bottom bathroom at your place where the skinny is that like the blow up bathroom because it's not on the main one.
Remember we had that motherfucker in there.
The comedian?
Yeah. We had a nigga go in there, man. Like, it's crazy. There's no
love
windows
these
in that
stories.
motherfucker, right?
Right.
There's no windows in there. Because I covered the window with the acoustic.
Right.
So this guy goes and he fucking disappears. We was in shooting the episode. He disappears, right? So when we between the skinny, we do these, hey, anybody got to do a bathroom break?
Yeah.
There's no fucking windows in there. So this motherfucker went in there and shitted all over the toilet, in the toilet. He didn't even look back, right? He had the room and the whole hallway. Am I right?
Nah, it was amazing.
Fucked it up in there, man. So girls was like in line to use the bathroom, and they was
like,
like, "Yo,
nah.
what the fuck is going on in here?" And I was like, "Nigga, did you shit in the bathroom?" Yeah, he had it. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. It's
that makes sense.
because we're not gonna have you go upstairs in the house and
Right,
shit all over the
absolutely.
thing. But
Right.
it was terrible.
It was so bad that you didn't even air his episode.
Yeah, I never aired his episode.
That's petty. That's
Yeah, that nigga blew the whole shit up. Like it was a little embarrassing.
Say his name.
I ain't gonna say
There you
that.
go.
I ain't gonna say that nigga name. He pretty big on Instagram right now. So I
He's
ain't
crushing
gonna-
it. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, he'll crush your bathroom too. You let that motherfucker in there.
That's amazing. So on that shitty note, as it were,
There it is.
can you speak to the camera and tell people where to find your show? If there's anything else that you would like our audience to be able to watch of yours, like any other content, be able to let them know where to do that.
Go check us out on The Skinny Show ATL. It's all one word. The Skinny Show ATL on YouTube. And The Skinny Show ATL, which we put a lot of our little clips of the actual episode that's on YouTube, on The Skinny Show ATL on IG. It's a brand new page. We're just starting it. Don't have a lot of followers, but that's what happens when you have a brand new page. You know what I mean? But The Skinny Show ATL on YouTube and The Skinny Show ATL on IG. And if you want to do something individually with him, he's Dick Paradise on his IG page.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Dick
And,
Paradise.
but that's where you can find us. But, we also, like you, feel like this is a valuable product that they do over here at Vision One Media. So definitely come do an interview with Ella Beth. She's amazing. She's got great energy. The light-skinned nigga over there recording, he cool too. Definitely, but I'm going to say this one more time. Stop doing this shit for free because this is valuable.
Thank you.
So, guys, come check out Ella Beth at Vision One Music. Is it Vision One Media?
Vision One Media,
Vision
yeah.
One Media. And if you want to get on the Skinny, reach out to us at the Skinny Show ATL. Yes, we are going to charge you. There is an editing fee. And that's about it.
Or if you want to be a studio audience member, we do that too.
Yep.
It's live.
And that's free.
And that's free.
Come by, have a drink. We have a open mic thing afterwards.
Open mic.
After party at my house.
Got a
half the
bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It really is a great time.
Thank you.
You've-
He does have the after party typically happens at his space because he's created an area where he's got like these really expensive cigars and he's got a ridiculous bar. Yeah, so if you want to get a good time, man, just after the Skinny, we all roll up at Dick Paradise House. Isn't that right, Dick?
Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. I didn't know. All right, well, I'll stick
left
around.
too early.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did leave early.
There was too many niggas in there for you, wasn't it?
No.
just kidding.
No.
She made that song,
No,
that's not
joking.
No, why did we leave? I don't drive yet because I don't have my license. But yeah, no, I'm gonna come along and be a guest, not a guest, be an audience member for one of your guests coming up in June.
Yep. Now, look, Nelson, we got you, baby. Sue Your Vibes. Gonna be there June 7th. He gonna be doing this thing. Looking forward to him. That's a good brother, man. That's a really good brother.
Absolutely, nicest guy, sweet guy. Also, shout out to Sue Your Vibes at Sue Your Vibes on Instagram.
That's SUY, Sue Your Vibes, SUYA.
Yeah.
Yep, so he'll be on the show June 7th, and we'd probably like to have you come back and, co-host an episode if it's not like, what do you call this? What do you call it?
Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest? Absolutely not. No, I would love to do that. I think it'd be cool to come and be a co-host on your show as well. Yeah,
yep.
Definitely. And hopefully, once I've released this album that I'm currently in the works of doing, maybe come back and be a guest again. I'll have some new music.
That'd be amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you shoot the video, do you need a backup dancer? Because I do that. I'm nice.
I would love that. Yeah,
That
please.
boy nice.
Please.
Roger
Yeah.
Rabbit, RoboCop, Running Man.
You've got it.
Shits, yep.
Okay.
Gray sweatpants and everything. I'm there.
Okay, cool. Because I have a song that I think would really work with
I
that.
love it.
Yeah, it's a good
Okay,
vibe.
yeah, run it.
Well, thank you so much for coming and being on our show.
Yep.
Thanks for having us.
Look, you can't air this one because remember when we sat down, she was like, "Well, a lot of church people and moms."
He did all the cussing.
You better not air this one. He gonna be editing like a motherfucker over there. Boop.
And he's still cussing. He's just making his heart.
Beeps, yeah. And if you've watched this show and you thought this was a good time and this is something that you would like to do, definitely reach out to us. You can find us at Vision One Media ATL on Instagram. You can email us at vision1social@gmail.com. You can find us. The show is on YouTube, and we've also got our little clips and stuff on our IG. You can also reach out to me personally. I'm Ellabeth, ELLABETH.music on Instagram if you want to come and be on the show. We're always looking for new talent and always looking for fresh vibes and cool diversity and all sorts of people. So let us know if you'd like to do that, or if you just want to do some recording, or you want to get your photo taken, or you'd like a place for live performances. Here at Vision One Media, we have all of that for you. So just reach out if there's anything that you'd like to work with us on. We'd be happy to collaborate. But thank you all for being here.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
She forgot to mention they got everything except for some AC in this motherfucker.
Literally, yeah.
Come in the wintertime.
They got all that.
Come in the wintertime.
You fucking right to lose weight. Sauna bath.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you.
All right. Well, that's been our episode for today. We'll catch you all next time on Vision One Media Artist Shoutout. This has been Dick Paradise. This is Stein from The Skinny Show ATL. I'm Ella Beth, your host, and we'll see you all next time.